Well, now at 4, it's deceivingly sunny today. We've got to time out some snow, a little brief warm up, and even colder air in the 7-day forecast.
Goodbye to dye, the FDA ban in effect today that impacts thousands of our foods and beverages.
And with just a simple swipe of his pen, we have the slew of new executive orders just signed by Indiana Governor Braun today.
Also, a ceasefire reached after months of deadly fighting when the truce begins between Israel and Hamas. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News at 4. And just when we're getting used to driving on pavement again, another round of snow is set to smack us. There it is. Take a good look there out to the west. It is creeping toward us on Live Doppler 13. Good afternoon. Great to have you here at 4 o'clock. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Anne Marie Tiernan, in today at 4 for Felicia. Thank you for watching 13 News at 4. Our meteorologist Sean Ash is interpreting what you saw there on radar. We've got these freezing temperatures and now the potential for more snowfall.
Yeah, it's going to be a little light. It's not going to be a huge deal. And I know it's kind of counterintuitive, but it's part of the brief warm up.
Okay.
Yeah, the warm up actually.
Whatever it takes, Sean.
To create a little snow
we get
here.
there.
So, let me show you I'm going to say thanks to our friends over at One America. I don't know if you were out and around. If you weren't, take a look at the new billboard. Some of you may agree with this. Bears have the right idea.
Amen.
Sleeping until April. They might be sleeping longer than that based on what we're going to show you coming in next week. How about this morning, though? As expected, just about everywhere was sub-zero here in central Indiana. The 22 in Bloomington, a little hiccup with the sensor there. It was not that warm. 14 below in Crawfordsville, almost 10 below in Columbus and Zionsville, as well as Frankfort. I show you that map to say, hey, we're near 20 degrees with some sunshine, a little bit of increasing cloud cover, but wind chills right now hovering in the single digits. It will not be as cold overnight because of the cloud cover and because of a little bit more wind that we're going to have. 20 right now, wind chill of 9. And this is the little weather player. See that warm front on the map. So we are going to be warmer to finish tomorrow, but that clipper system is going to come diving down the pike here. And not everyone will see the snow, but there will be enough at times, I think, to coat the ground. Tomorrow morning at the bus stop, getting into work, it will not going to be as cold. Noticeably warmer. We're still in the 20s, still going to be chilly. We'll talk a little more in detail about this snow shower action, and the coldest is yet to come. Timeline ahead here in a few minutes. We'll see you then.
All right, thanks so much, Sean. And don't forget, you can always track today's freezing temperatures by downloading our WTHR weather app. It gives you the interactive radar, hour-by-hour forecast, and you can pinpoint it all the way down to your neighborhood or wherever you happen to be. You can get it, plus the blog. It's a free download in your phone's app store. Other news now today, Indiana Governor Mike Braun wasting no time in making changes at the Indiana State House.
That's right. Today he signed a little fewer than a dozen executive orders to streamline state operations. Take a look here. One of those orders will bring state workers back into the office. It directs all state agencies to require all full-time employees to work in the office or the facility or field location, whatever it is assigned by their agency, and not from a remote location. And they have to be back at the office by July 1st. Governor Braun also replaced all DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives in state government with something he's calling MEI, which stands for Merit, Excellence, and Intelligence. And there is also an executive order he signed requiring agencies to try to deregulate professional licensing requirements. This is in an effort to reduce unnecessary barriers. I just spoke with a political expert about all of this who told me this is really a way for the governor to set the tone for his agenda right out of the gate on issues that don't need approval from lawmakers.
This makes more sense as a way for him to exercise his executive authority without having to involve the legislature, and being able, of course, to do it fairly immediately, having just taken office and sworn the oath 2 days ago.
And you can find the full list of today's executive orders, all 9 of them, at WTHR.com. All right, well, the next time you go to the grocery store, you may want to check the nutrition labels on what it is that you're buying.
Today, the FDA has banned a food additive that's called red dye number 3. What's that? Well, it's artificial coloring that's everywhere. It's in some candy, food, and also drinks.
And a lot of what we put into our bodies. Karen Campbell joins us now to share more about this ban taking effect and how it aims to keep us safe. Hey, Karen.
Hey there. Well, this red dye number 3 is used in so many of the foods and drinks that we consume today. I mean, we're talking strawberry milkshakes, even some medications. That's hard to believe for me. But now the FDA says it has been linked to cancer in some rat studies. Now, red dye number 3 is a synthetic dye which gives our food and drinks that cherry-colored hue. The FDA said food companies have until 2027 to strip the dye from its products. Now, I spoke with a registered dietitian. Her name is Taylor Parrish. She's at Riley Children's Health. She gave us some tips, what parents can do and what all of us can do to help eliminate this red dye number 3 from our diets.
So let's say you want to make a cupcake at home and you need something to make like a red color in icing, for example. There are things you can use like beet powder, dried, like freeze-dried strawberry powder that you can crush up. You can use things like even beet juice, elderberry juice, berry juice, things like that.
So here's something else we want you to know. Red dye number 3 was approved for use in foods back in 1907. It's made from petroleum, and the FDA didn't become aware of it, that it was a possible carcinogenic until the 1980s, and they removed it from cosmetics in the 90s. Now, we know that some food manufacturers have already removed red dye number 3. You'll see it replaced with red dye 40. So we went shopping, right? And we found some products that have red dye number 3 listed on the labels. For example, some Little Debbie products, some brownies that we found. Those of us who love cakes, you want to watch out for the icing, right? Some of the icings have it. Even sprinkles. Everyone loves sprinkles, right?
Yeah.
Sprinkles has red dye number 3. Valentine's Day is coming up. Check the label. Some do have that red dye number 3 in there. Now, some of the things that have been switched to red dye 40, we're talking about raisins, yogurt flavored, or yogurt covered, I should say, raisins have the red dye 40. So just a reminder to check your food labels when you go shopping.
I helped Karen out this afternoon, went to the grocery store, and honestly, there are a lot more products with the red dye 40. So they've been switching over clearly, but still we were able to find a number of these products with the red dye 3.
I'm really worried about maraschino cherries. I love them so much.
Okay, I checked those cherries.
Oh, what did
They're
you
safe.
find?
They're safe.
Oh,
no
good.
red dye 3.
Oh, well, the world will go on.
Yeah. Now, those of us who love the red velvet cake, again, just make sure
You're checking.
Yes.
And there are alternatives. That's good to hear.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Karen.
Okay, thank you. Very, very informative.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Other news now. This afternoon, we are working to learn more about the condition of a robbery suspect seriously hurt in a shooting on the northwest side. This happened early this morning, about 5:45, on West 86th Street near Zionsville Road, in the parking lot of the Traders Point Shopping Center. That's where police say they found a man in critical condition. Officers say 3 people tried to rob somebody in that area, but that person was able to get away. The suspects then allegedly tried to rob someone else, but that person had a gun and shot one of them.
This armed citizen just had to take action, the life-altering action to fire a weapon to protect themselves. That person's going to be going through a lot as well.
The other 2 suspects got away. Now police are searching for them.
Later this week, family and friends are set to come together and host a vigil for the 14-year-old girl who was found shot to death outside at an apartment complex. The G3 Steppers, that is the dance group that DeAndre Clay Staples was a member of, is hosting a balloon release and memorial at their dance studio set for this weekend on Saturday. The group says they also are going to be having some grief counselors available and other resources to support those who are grieving. The group says donations can also be made to the girl's family. Her family is the one expected to host the balloon release that'll be held later the day. So if you want to see that, that's later today, and the other event is on Saturday. So if you want to participate, details on both events, and also a way perhaps that you can step in and assist the family, go to our website right now at WTHR.com.
Now to the proposal at the State House that's getting a whole lot of attention this week. House Republicans announced one of their priorities is to consider this idea of part of Illinois becoming Indiana. That's right, essentially redrawing the boundary lines. In the last 5 years or so, dozens of Illinois counties have voted to explore separating from their state and forming their own. Those are the counties in that brownish yellow color you see right there. They don't want to be tied to Chicago anymore. Well, Republican lawmakers here in Indiana heard that and are saying, hey, maybe you should just join our state. So House Bill 1008 would create a commission to discuss and recommend whether that's something to proceed with. Democrats here in Indiana, they're calling this whole thing a distraction from the real issues facing Hoosiers. In a statement, Party Chairman Mike Schmuel said, in part, instead of passing universal pre-K or ending waiting lists for health care, Indiana Republicans want to meddle in the internal affairs of our neighbors. This legislative session should be about Hoosiers, not political games. We'll continue to follow that from the State House.
The firefight out west so far from over. The major concern in place today for the crews who are working very hard out on the front lines.
And the new way President-elect Trump plans to bring in revenue to the U.S.
All right, got a little sunshine now. We're timing out a brief warm-up followed by even colder air next week.
19 degrees out there as the afternoon rush to go home is just about ready to kick off. We're taking a live look right now at the traffic at I-465 and Kentucky Avenue on the south side. Everything moving smoothly at this hour.